Alright, today we're going to be doing a schizophrenia simulation because I do have schizophrenia and I feel like I could give a pretty good input on if the schizophrenia simulations are accurate or not. And before we get started, I want to give a trigger warning to anyone who does have mental illness because some of the stuff in the videos are kind of disturbing sometimes, and they do bring up past trauma or just whatnot, just for people who do have struggle with these conditions. But let's get into my reactions. So this one's pretty accurate just by the way, like, he's struggling to do his math homework here. Like, it was always hard for me to do math homework after I was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Just after I started doing worse with my schizophrenia, it was always hard for me to do the numbers in my head, just do critical thinking and stuff like that. Just always was pretty difficult for me to do that kind of stuff. And so, like, that part's accurate. It's him struggling. Then, like, this little, not really freak out, but this little panic that he takes to get to the bathroom. Like, that part's really accurate because sometimes you just want to like get out of a certain area. Like, you just want to get out of there. Like, I just need to be gone. And like that part's accurate. And as far as like everyone's staring at him, like, because this lady stared at him in like this scene, like they probably would stare at him because he's like staring back at her. But like when you get to this point, I think it's just supposed to be up to interpretation that he thinks they're all staring at him, because like I've never had a whole room of people stare at me, but I've like thought they've been staring at me before. So I think that's what they're trying to like explain in this video, is that you think that a lot of people are staring at you, because I've had that happen to me before, where I think like a whole room of people are staring at me. They know I'm schizophrenic. They know I'm freaking out right now. They know I'm like something's bad is about to happen. Like they know I need to get out of here. Like it's just one of those things. Like, you think they know what your thoughts inside your head. So I think that's what they're trying to like make them perceive right now. It's like not that they're actually all staring at him. Is just that he's thinking they're all staring at him. So this one is, I would say, the most accurate one just in general, because it shows the paranoia and the delusion side of it. Because a lot of schizophrenia it's not the hallucinations and like from the auditory and visual hallucinations, but a lot of it is the paranoia and just this sort of things, like the delusions. Because at least in my aspects of it, like I get a lot of paranoia, I get a lot of delusions, and I just sort of think funny throughout the day, like unless I'm on my medication, because normally medication kind of controls it pretty well. It just sometimes I just have bad days and it just kind of goes awry. So yeah. So this one is not a good schizophrenia simulation. It is not accurate at all, because like when it's just whatever effects this person had on their phone, I can guarantee it. I've never once had a hallucination like this where you just go all red and stuff. Like I'm not saying it's impossible, but like I've never just had that hallucination. Like that's a hallucination. Like that's just not something I've ever had. Like the hallucinations I've had are like realistic things, like usually like someone actually being there and just like a person being there, or just like actual objects. But like I don't know, just the way this video is like brought out, it's like the way like this is like that's not a hallucination. Just the way he just throws it, like, and like that, like whatever that was, like that's not something people with schizophrenia do. Like you hear voices, you see things that aren't there, like, but you don't just have these weird freak out moments that are red. Like you don't just see red randomly. And the other thing is, you don't always freak out when you have schizophrenic episodes. Like you sometimes, like you sit there and you stare off into space sometimes. That's the one thing they're not getting right in a lot of these schizophrenia simulations, is that a lot of episodes you just sort of sit there and you just sort of stare off into space and just think about stuff. It's like, or you just go about your day and you're thinking about random stuff and you're just hallucinating. Like that's what the one that I was walking, that one made a lot of sense, because like, you still do stuff when you're having hallucinations. It's not like, I don't know, just it's not just like it takes over everything like immediately. Like it has to be a pretty bad hallucination for it to make you freak out. Like you can still have hallucinations to the point where like you can still do your laundry, where you can still like watch TV and stuff like that. It just, so like there's like different degrees of hallucinations. Like there's just hearing a little bit of voices, and then there's like little voices that are louder, and then it just slowly progresses up into like full freak out moment. And so like that's what they kind of get wrong with like a lot of these videos, is like they don't have like the middle stages. Like the walking video had like the lower stage where you just kind of hear voices just a little bit, and then this one had like the freak out stage, which doesn't happen a lot because a lot of people just, most people have just the lower levels, but like it takes a while for people to get up to the higher levels. But like that's the one of the things people just never really noticed about like schizophrenia. It's like there's a lot of like people who have like just less severe cases. Basically with this one, I do think it's pretty accurate with, to an extent of like, at least with my case, because like sometimes I get in sort of like a trance, I get into like a little bit of a fog, like when I do have an episode, like I don't see these, like what I'm pausing right here where it's like up in your face, like I don't get those, like that part's inaccurate. But when it comes to like the ringing in the ears and just overall being kind of lost where you are in reality, like that part's kind of accurate, because like you do get lost in reality sometimes. But as far as like this like warped sense of reality, I've never had that in my personal experience. Other people may have, I'm not sure.
Schizophrenia typically strikes people just when they're preparing to enter the phase of their lives in which they can achieve their highest growth and productivity.
That is totally facts, because mine hit me when I was 17, so like right when I was about to graduate high school, and it just made things a whole lot harder for me while I was going through college and everything.
Delusions are fixed, firm, false beliefs that are not a part of a person's culture or religion.
I would say the delusions, those can be a big factor as far as everything goes, because like when you're having a delusion, like you just, like you believe it to the fullest extent. Like it's almost like when your delusions are more real than reality themselves. Like when you feel like something's happening, it's a weird feeling.
Disorganized behavior includes disorganized speech, bizarre behavior, and inappropriate affect.
I tend to get disorganized speech like quite a bit. So if you see me ranting about something in a video, that's probably what's going on, like honestly. But yeah, I tend to get that. I just start ranting about random topics, and I'm just like, and people are like, what the hell are you talking about?
Increased benefit from clozapine and long-acting injectable medications. Cognitive behavioral
So the
therapy.
injectable medications didn't work for me. Like they would work for like, because they go in like months increments, and then sometimes you get bumped up to like 3 months, and 6 months, and they get bumped up to like 12 months after a while. But like I couldn't get off the month ones because like I just could not stay stable on the ones like that were a month, and like I just could not work. I still had to take my emergency medication. Just for some reason, like the injectables just would not work for me. All right, that's gonna wrap it up. Make sure to let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments below. It's a little bit different of what I normally do, but just let me know in the comments below what you think of it, and maybe I'll do some more of stuff like this in the future. But thanks for watching. Until next time, see you later.